Hey everybody, it's Henry, Mowers and Blowers. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was a great weekend for me because much anticipated Indy 500 was on. I'm a huge fan. Congratulations to my fellow Asian brother from another mother, Takuma Sato from Rahal Letterman Lanigan Autosports. He beat the Iceman just by a little bit, but it was a pretty exciting race, even with no fans in the stands. Anyway, pretty happy about what happened that during the Indy 500. And then today is Monday, and I will be taking this 8 horsepower snowblower horizontal shaft engine apart because the piston and rings are dust. Yesterday, a little bit after the race, my friend Mike from Mike's Lawn Service, Babylon, came by. He's the kid that mows veterans' yards for free. He's a really good kid. Anyway, he comes across stuff here and there. He holds them for me, and then when he's around the neighborhood, he drops them off to me. In return, I give him great deals on lawnmowers because, well, he's my boy. He hooks me up. A little bit of quid pro quo. He hooks me up. I'm definitely going to hook him up too. As you guys know, along with this snowblower that I got from a tip from Frank the UPS guy, 2 days prior to me picking this up, I picked up an MTD 550EX auto choke push mower with a bag. And as you saw from previous episode, started right up on the first pull. It was unbelievable. It needed a RPM adjustment. And also I bought a new air filter cover, as well as my air filters came, and I put one in there. So that thing was ready to go. I listed it for $125 locally, and then Mike came by with some stuff to drop off for me, some new projects moving forward, and he asked me if I had any mowers. And I said, well, the best mower I just got. You know, this thing's great. One start, pull, you know. And so while I listed it for $125, he hooks me up with a lot of stuff. So I said, you can have it for $50. So I sold it to him for $50. He took it away yesterday and dropped off some new machines for me to work on after I get done with this. And like I said, when it rains, it pours, right? There was a period of time when I thought, oh my God, I'm running out of things to sell, you know? But sure enough, something always pops up that keeps me busy. In addition, I had 2 leaf blowers, as well as a weed whacker that were smalls that I just didn't want to deal with anymore, you know, so it was like in a project pile. Anyway, I had sold those 3 items this weekend also to some lowballer guy for $10 each. So I got $30 for 3 little items, you know, just get it out of my hair, you know, so I don't have to think about it. I did make a video about it. However, it was just a transaction of me selling it out of my van to this lowballer. But me and this lowballer actually get into it a little bit. You know, it's kind of interesting. So I uploaded it onto Hank's channel. So go follow Hank, the AZN Redneck, over on YouTube. He's got 141 subscribers now. Thank you guys for following my cousin. But that video's on there if you'd like to go check it out. There's a link to Hank's YouTube channel in the description of this video. In addition, I also showed you in the last episode that I actually picked up this Tecumseh engine off the street. There's always a little bit of talk about what you call these things. So I've always called a gas engine an engine, an electric motor a motor. But I see a lot of people calling gas engines motors, like the engine in your car. Is that called a motor? It's really an engine, isn't it? A motor is an electric motor, like a starter motor for your engine, you know? I don't really know what the official term is, but I'd like to just call gas things engines and electric things motors. It's just the way I roll, you know what I mean? Anyhow, I found this thing on the street probably a few months ago through another tip from Frank the UPS guy. Like I said, Frank contributes a lot to the channel by giving me these tips and thus projects to work on for future episodes. So I owe a lot to Frank. He's a good guy. Anyhow, my friend Robert Nighthawk told me that this engine is actually a edger engine. Probably right. It's like 3 horsepower or something like that. Small. But it looks like a snowblower engine. Has the same throttles. Whoa, holy cow. That's what happens when you get old, fellas. Lose your equilibrium. This Tecumseh carburetor is the diaphragm kind. Really old. Anyway, as you can see, I bolted it onto this old power washer cart that I just used to move engines around the garage. It has 3 holes in here, right? You know, in the cart. But because this is a horizontal shaft engine, I was surprised to find that at least 2 holes lined up. So I just put 2 bolts in there, and it's only held on by 2 bolts. But it's pretty tight. Anyway, the recoil starter on this thing was gunsky. You can't even turn it. It's seized. I mean, if you used a wrench or something, you could turn it, but it's hard, you know. It needs to be cleaned out and lubricated because there's probably like old rust particles in there that's making it sandy. You know, that sandy sound. So anyway, I had an extra Tecumseh recoil starter in my bin of parts in the back. Simply put it on, right? And this ignition coil thing was off and very loose, so I just crimped it a little bit, and now it's kind of tight, right? I blew some go-go juice in here, pulled it, started up. But this being like only a 3 horsepower engine, it's probably not going to be enough to power a dual stage snowblower, you know what I mean? So I was thinking, actually, moving forward with this project over here, the snowblower, after I do a teardown on the engine and sell the parts on eBay, right, I'm going to have a pretty decent snowblower carcass. Everything seems to work on it. The transmission, the auger, the impeller, everything seems to be there, you know what I mean? So I'd like to put another 8 horsepower engine on here. I have an old snowblower in my shed in the back that I've been trying to get rid of for seemingly years. I always wanted to change the wheels on that one because they have mismatched wheels, and so when you push the snowblower, it kind of veers to the left, and that always bothered me. I didn't really like it, but it's got a good 8 horsepower Tecumseh Snow King engine on it. This is a far better machine, so I think moving forward in a future project, not that snowblowers are such a priority, right? I might take that 8 horsepower engine off of that Atlas Spirit Brute Murray. That's what it is. It's like an Atlas or a Brute, but Murray also makes Spirit as well. So it's a Murray. Has a good 8 horsepower engine on it. I can just pop it on here. Hopefully the crankshafts and the pulleys will match that of this. It's usually 4 inches from the frame up to the center of the crankshaft. So I'm going to see if that works out in a future episode. I don't know what I'm going to do with this engine, but it seems to work. I might try to get this running with gas in here someday soon. I wanted to show you what my friend Mike brought me yesterday. So this is a John Deere 22-inch self-propelled machine. Has a quantum engine on it. Deck seems like it's dirty, but not rusty. I think the front wheel seems to be kind of locked up. It won't move. Obviously, you need some kind of brake mechanism, you know, cable to the bail handle, which there is none. I haven't checked this out much at all. The second thing he brought me is, it looks like the machine I sold him about a year ago for 50 bucks. But the wheels are kind of wobbly and mismatched, and I don't really know anything else about it. But so there's the John Deere self-propelled mower and this Craftsman push mower. He also brought me a Echo chainsaw. He says it smokes a lot. Smoking a lot could be a lot of things, you know what I mean? Could be the piston on its way out, or it could just be too much oil mixed with it too, you know? But I haven't checked it out, and I hate dealing with smalls. 2-stroke stuff, hate it. But being this is an Echo, it's worth a little bit of time invested into seeing what's wrong with it. Both machines do come with their own baggers as well. So as you can see from this machine today, which I'm going to be taking apart methodically, scored piston is the reason why it has zero compression. And I've already removed the head. I didn't put it back on again, obviously. So I'm going to be removing piece by piece of this machine for sale on eBay, keeping the carcass for a future repower video. So as you guys saw from time lapse, I completely took this engine apart down to the short block. While the short block seems like it's still pretty good, the walls here are pretty scored, especially around where the rings sit at top dead center. The crankshaft came off very easily. Didn't even need the crowbar, even though I had it ready. Here's the camshaft. Looks pretty good. I could sell this. Flywheel for this size and to have magnets in like new condition. This is going to fetch some good money too. Here's a half stator that's used for powering accessories such as LED lights on your snowblower. It's in very good condition. Here's the Magneto, also in very good condition. The kill wire and the ignition coil. The crankshaft double pulley. It's a good starter motor here. With the on and off switch and power input. It's a sump cover with the governor and tappets. I could sell this. This is in good condition. Recoil starter in good condition as well. Gas tank. As you guys know, gas tanks sell very well. Really well. This is in excellent condition. Well, I will definitely be making more than $100 on just these parts. I want to show you guys the piston. So here's the piston that was in there, right? It's pretty badly scored here on the side, which is expected since we have the cylinder wall also scored. But I think both sides have pretty good zebra stripes. And noticeably, you can feel the grooves too. Also, I think that the cause of the no compression was if you look at the oil ring still extends, you know what I mean, by popping out. Look at the first and second ring. They're both compressed inside and they won't come out. So the rings were not touching. They were practically not touching the walls at all, you know. So as you saw from the oil that came out of here, it was all white. So this engine was flooded with water, which with rust and corrosion caused the rings to no longer expand outward to create the compression by touching the cylinder wall. So this is the same problem that happened on my Redneck's backpack blower. That was that the rings were seized inside of the piston, and therefore they didn't extend or protrude outwards to create the compression between the piston and the cylinder wall. So this was the reason why. I mean, theoretically, if you honed this engine block, if you honed it, right, and then got new rings, it would probably work. But am I going to go through all that to get this engine rebuilt again, to put on that snowblower that's worth like 150 bucks? No. If the snowblower was still worth about $600, right, then that would be another conversation to have. But currently I have another crappy snowblower called the Atlas, right? Has a good 8 horsepower Snow King engine on it. I think that's what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to put that engine on here because this is a much better snowblower than the one that I have, and then junk the one that I have. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take pictures of all this stuff and list it on eBay. But that was my teardown video of an 8 horsepower 27 wide snowblower engine that I found on the street. I'll probably make about $100 or more on the parts alone, just from the engine parts. I'm going to take this this connecting rod out with the cap and sell it on eBay. But that's my video today. We have 2 mowers, an Echo chainsaw, we have an engine repower video coming up soon, and then I'm going on vacation on Thursday. Yeah, we're going to Saratoga Springs, which is upstate New York, about 3-4 hours up, and there's a big lake there called Saratoga Lake, and so we're gonna be up there for about 4 days, and I'm going white water rafting for the first time in my life. Now that worries me a little because you guys know I can't swim. So white water rafting is a little out of my comfort zone for sure. I may have to wear 4 life vests and a helmet. But I'm going to bring you guys along with me. And if you'd like to watch it, it's a free country. If you don't want to watch it, just look at the thumbnail. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.